Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we look at some OD combos.
Hi guys, it's Rob from Royal Balls, but I'm wearing the branded t-shirt today, ARP Constrictors. So this video has been 3 years in the making. It is the story of the Orange Dream project from 2018 at ARP Constrictors. All the snakes I'm about to show you were produced by ARP Constrictors, and the story is his. Over the course of those 3 years, we've learned an awful lot about Orange Dream, about how Orange Dream works and what combos to put with Orange Dream. And we've learnt that Orange Dream is actually fantastically variable. Orange Dream always works in combos and always looks good in combos, but Orange Dream doesn't always look good as a single gene morph. Some do, some don't. The variation in quality is tremendous. And we're going to get on down to ARP Constrictors and you can hear from the man himself.
This is our pastel Orange Dream. It's a female. It's in shed, so we're just quickly showing her. So these are our wholeback Orange Dream stuff. This is an Orange Dream lesser calico.
So what's the plan for Orange Dream?
Orange Dream. First of all, we plan to get in some out of these Orange Dreams into the clown combos. And as usual, I like to put everything in clown. And we're gonna get them into leopards as well. So that's the two directions that we're going into Orange Dream. Then we're just gonna get the usual color stuff inside there, like the Enchi, the fire, and the yellow belly. I'm not very sure if I really want to do the pied Orange Dream stuff, because the pied Orange Dream has a very black head. So I'm not a fan of the dark head. I like heads with lighter colors, lighter shades, lighter patterns as well. So maybe not into pipes. These two are quite my favorite this season actually.
This is an Orange Dream yellow belly male. You can see how bright orange he is. The yellow belly and Orange Dream complement each other. Awesome typical Orange Dream head stamp there, and if we look at the blushing on the sides, this is just stunning. Look at the blushing on the sides, the flames coming up the sides of this guy. Just an awesome snake who does not want to keep still, does not want to show off for the camera, but just look at those flames and the blushing along the sides there, guys. Just an awesome snake to be starting out in the Orange Dream project. A little bit late here in Malaysia starting out in Orange Dream, but you can see that we do have a cracking example of Orange Dream to work with. So this is the Orange Dream yellow belly male, now well over a year old. He is breeding for me this year, but I just thought I'd show you what he looks like right now. You can see that he's still holding colour, although some of the orange has gone and he's more yellow now, but still quite bright. You can still see the Orange Dream head stamp there, the hole with the dot in the middle of the head, typical Orange Dream. You can see the yellow belly markers there, the pixelated belly, and also the Orange Dream tram lines. He still has very nice contrast. You can still see the nice reduced Orange Dream, very Enchi like pattern. So this guy has been breeding for me this year, and hopefully we'll be producing some of our own Orange Dream combos with this guy. And he comes from that first original male that we acquired several years ago. Of the 3 males that we've used, that one is definitely the lowest quality. This is another male. This is an Orange Dream Calico, so you can see how light coloured the sides have become, and the dorsal pattern, very sharp, high contrast dorsal pattern with a little bit of blushing in there. That's the Orange Dream, and you can see the edges of what's left on the alien heads have this very bright yellow edging to them, and then the orange, which fades away, becomes more speckled due to the influence of the calico on this guy. Again, typical Orange Dream head stamp. And look at the belly markers on this guy too, the blushing along there. Just awesome snake. So this is a straight Orange Dream. It's a female and it's been kept back in order to produce supers as she grows older. You can see the characteristics of Orange Dream, how we identify Orange Dream. First of all, the colour is obviously quite orange. But the other thing to notice here is that Orange Dream is also a pattern modifier. And you can see the reduced pattern with these bow ties along the dorsal stripe here, which is very reminiscent of Enchi. There you can see the reduced pattern, and Orange Dream actually works very similarly to Enchi in combos. You have the typical Orange Dream head stamp, the slightly orange blushing on the head with the dot in the middle is very typical of Orange Dream, as are the train tracks or belly markers. And in a good quality Orange Dream, what I look for is a complete removal of the keyholes in the alien heads. It cleans up the side pattern, removes all of the keyholes in the alien heads, and produces a very clean, Enchi looking animal, which is actually quite orange. So this is what we look for in Orange Dream, and the quality of an Orange Dream would be defined more in terms of its pattern for me than its colour. All Orange Dreams do vary in colour. This one is quite a nice orange colour, but the pattern is extremely reduced, and there are no really classic alien heads. The keyholes have been removed from all the alien heads, so this is what I'm looking for in a good quality Orange Dream. This is what I would call a nice quality standard single gene Orange Dream. Now Orange Dream can be ramped up to a whole different level by simply adding yellow belly. This guy does not have yellow belly. There are no flames up the side, and we do not have the yellow belly pixelated or yellow tinge to the belly. This is straight OD. Let me show you what happens when we add yellow belly to this combo, and I thank Rizal, the scales artist, for demonstrating with his yellow belly Orange Dream male. And again, you can see exactly the same characteristic, a nice clean appearance with the reduced Enchi-like pattern. The head stamp is exactly the same. It's the blushed head with the dot in the middle, but yellow belly has ramped up both the colour intensity and the flames on the side to a whole new level. Orange Dream, when you start to put it in combinations, really does start to ramp up the intensity of colour, and you can take an average looking Orange Dream, mix that into a combo and turn it into something really nice. Orange Dream always responds really well to being mixed with other genes. Now, we did mention that the pattern is very Enchi-like, and in fact when you mix it in combos, the combination does respond very much like Enchi, so it's very easy to get confused between Enchi and Orange Dream, particularly when you have both of them in a combination. Orange Dream and Enchi can often be mistaken for Super Enchi. The gene works very similar. When you start to mix Leopard in with Orange Dream and Enchi, you can produce some really wild looking animals.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we look at some OD combos, some different variation in OD quality, and the hatchlings that we just made recently and the parents and things like that. So let's get into the video. Okay, so here we have basic OD yellow belly. This is very basic. It's not a high quality one or anything. And now I'll show you the sibling, which is a higher expression one. So you can see that that's a lot better than the one I showed you before. This is in fact one of the best OD yellow bellies I've seen. Just very simple OD yellow belly, but you look at the orange in it. This is a fantastic quality one.
You talk about the pattern?
Yeah, so the belly here, see the tracks and the whites in the middle. Camera is not really picking up that ringer kind of white in the middle, but it's okay. So this is how you look for ODs, the tracks. This is OD yellow belly, so the tracks are a lot more defined than simple yellow belly, or simple ODs, sorry. So, and also you see the blushings on top, the oranges. And the black is always a bit darker on ODs. On the other one, it's a lot more harder to ID. Because this is a very low expression, so it doesn't really look much like an OD, but you can see it's an OD. So that's the variation quality like we spoke about last week.
They all have a reduced pattern like Enchi.
Yeah, they do. ODs and Enchis, I don't know, I find them work very similar with a lot of stuff. So okay, now we'll show you a single gene OD. Okay, so that's a OD yellow belly and that's a single gene OD. It's a hat clown, different parents. But this, I would not call it a high expression still. It's still very simple looking one, very basic. You can see the OD blushes in it. And the tracks again. This is an OD for sure, but it's not an OD yellow belly. So it doesn't have that much orange in it as the other one does. Okay, so both the OD yellow belly that I showed earlier, that one was a high intensity, one was not, the higher expression and the not higher expression, both came from the same father. Father came from Aussie Boyd's line of ODs also, but he wasn't labeled as high intensity. So one of the babies did come out looking high intensity, one did not. His color also dropped a lot as he aged. So that too actually was paired. This was paired to a normal to actually make that.
Okay, so that's a little bit of background on the OD project and some of the history, the early efforts at ARP. Let's move on to this season and take a look at the giant leap forward that ARP has made due to the imports that we made a year and a half ago when we brought in some Orange Dream stuff from Aussie Boyd, and we now are seeing the results of that. Let's get back to ARP and have a look at some of those offspring.
Okay, so this is another clutch. I'm just showing those babies with ODs in them. The non-ODs, I didn't really bring it up. This was a fantastic clutch. I really like it. So you see some of them has ringers on them. And this really high floating belly pattern on the side. This one is a OD Enchi Leopard yellow belly. Missing one. OD Leopard Enchi yellow belly. Fire. Yes, correct. Fire. And this, I believe, is to be OD Fire yellow belly. You can see the belly pattern. Also has a small ringer on it, similar to the sibling. Yeah, possibly Enchi. I'm not so sure on the Enchi, because when ODs and NCs interact, they look a bit weird. It's a bit hard to ID them. So I would like to label them one less than what I think they are, so I'm more sure of what I'm selling.
So when you combine Orange Dream and NC, you can sometimes get confused as to what's actually in there, because the pattern looks very like a super NC.
Yes, correct. And this one is a Leopard NC OD yellow belly. You can see. Oh sorry, this is a Leopard OD yellow belly. This has no NC in it. Yeah. You can see again the tracks, very well defined track. This is a definite OD. It's very easy to see OD in this. So these two, this one is a fire pinstripe OD NC, and this is the same thing with Leopard in it and possibly yellow belly. Can't really see the yellow belly at this point, but I believe it does have a yellow belly because it has quite a nice orangey color to it. This is a little bit more striky, bright color, but this has a lot more even color on the whole body, keeping these two. Okay, so this is the father of the clutch that we just showed. It's a NC OD fire yellow belly.
Not high intensity OD.
Yeah,
Straight
this one we
OD.
did not buy it as high intensity, but it was a very nice one. Did not buy it as high intensity.
It's very bright.
Yeah, but you should see the baby, one of the babies he made. It's exactly the same thing, a lot better color. But it also came from Aussie. We imported him last year. So we'll move on to his baby is in shed. The nicest one that he made is in shed. We'll try to insert a clip of it at the end of the video. So this one is a Leopard NC OD yellow belly, and this one is a OD yellow belly. You can see how the NC and the Leopard changed the whole pattern and also made it slightly darker,
But still really intense orange.
yes. So let me show you the belly tracks. See, that's obvious OD yellow belly. The ODs tend to give this little hole on the head pattern. So this is the one without the Leopard and NC in it. These are from different parents. This one was a very high quality OD. This came from Aussie in the last shipment. As I showed you earlier, the father that made this also made another yellow belly OD that wasn't high intensity. So not all the offsprings of high intensity is high intensity in my experience, but they do tend to have higher chance of getting high intensity. But what I notice is everything that's high intensity so far has only come from Aussie Boyd's line. So some of his snakes that were not labeled as high intensity still threw out high intensity. So I believe the more important thing to focus here is into buying very high quality OD examples rather than just the labels. So a high quality one has higher chance of you making out a very high, what they call high intensity ODs. So let's move on to some nicer combos so you all can see the power of OD in it. So these two are siblings. So this particular clutch only had these two ODs and both of them came out fantastic. So like I said, this father was the one that we got recently last year from Aussie. But it was a very nice one. Justin picked it up for me. So the father that made this made really nice ODs, had more high intensity ODs than the other clutch. The other one is just like one.
Not all of them.
Not all. there was still one or two that we missed, but a majority of them were high intensity. The other one that was not a very high intensity example, as the start off means the father wasn't a high intensity, did make one or two here and there, but it doesn't have anywhere close to the number of high intensities as the straight out starting off with a high intensity one. But it still did make one or two for us.
But none of the snakes have produced 100% high intensity.
No, none. There are still misses. The high intensity still missed out. We still made the first plain OD I showed. I'll just show him again. Yeah, so these three are actually
from the same
same father, different mother. So these three came from the same father OD. Is the same father. But as you can see, this is not something that I would call high intensity. These two are. So it did throw one, but the majority of them were high intensity, were nice. So the not so nice male that we got from Aussie still threw out one or two, but just a lower percentage of high intensities. Okay, so these two are actually the possible hats. We paired a hat to a hat. This one I showed. This is a OD leopard stuff. This one is what we're calling Sher, after Sher Khan and Mowgli, because it looks a bit like a tiger. So this one here is it's gonna be a mouthful.
It's this snake?
Yeah, it's this snake. So it's OD, leopard, yellow belly, Enchi, with pastel, with fire, and I believe it has Mojave also. I'm quite sure it has Mojave. You can see the pattern. So this is a 7-gene animal.
So that dot there,
yeah,
this dot here,
and this one here,
plus the tail stripe,
yeah,
is what tells you it's Mojave.
Yeah, but it's very.
The color is also very creamy.
Yeah, it's very rarely we'll get a 7-gene snake that has this much pattern and color on it. Usually they're just all smudgy and just a very muddy snake, single colored muddy snake. But this one has very defined colors, very nice looking one. So I believe DG in this would look amazing. But look at the head stamp. Yes, let's go there. Yeah, look at the head stamp. It's a cool snake.
Awesome.
With pastel, it's still super nice. So some people hate pastels in having pastel in their combos, but this is a great example. I believe that would have looked a lot different from if we didn't have pastel in it. I think the pastel actually made this one look nicer. But to hold the color of the pastel, we need the DG. Okay, so here we are back again with our Ironman stuff. So all these three was made from the same father, the Aussie Boyd's male. These I believe are all three are high intensity. This as nice as I think the single copy OD would make them look. They are really pretty looking snakes. All made from the same dad. Different. These two has the same. Is his clutchmate, and this one is a different mother. But just look at the example of the quality. This is why we wanted to get OD head clown male from Aussie Boyd's, and we wanted a nice one from him, so we chose a nice one and we brought it in to make very high quality examples out of it. This one is the head, and these two are the visuals. We've showed them a few times, so I think we don't have to.
So this is Ironman.
This Ironman, and this is without Enchi but with fire.
Leopard Enchi OD yellow belly. This one is
the same thing without Enchi but with fire. You see the head stamp.
So it's Leopard Fire OD yellow belly.
Yeah. So the leopard is on the sides. You know, you can see the leopard still.
And the head stamp.
Yeah.
Leopard gives the front piece.
Yeah.
And Enchi gives the back piece.
Yes. So that makes Ironman.
And fire puts wings on the back piece.
Stamp. Yes, correct. And fire also makes it a lot cleaner, but not that orange. We were aiming to get all this into one snake, which is basically Ironman with fire in it. The odds were not that good, so we missed that out. But we're happy with having one of each.
Okay, when we're looking at clowns, this is a leopard clown. It has the typical leopard clown head stamp. And I wanted to show this female because this does not have Orange Dream in it. There is no blushing at all down the dorsal stripe, but this female does have yellow belly. You can recognize the yellow belly by the blushing down the sides, by the flames in the dots on the sides of the snake, and you can see the yellow side pattern, and also the same pixelation down the side coupled with that leopard zipper stripe down the belly. This is leopard yellow belly clown, and there is no orange dream in this one. So I just wanted to show this one to contrast with the other clown combos that we're seeing in the Ironman stuff. So leopard, yellow belly, clown. And the final snake that I wanted to show you guys is what we call Ironman Light. Ironman is leopard, enchi, orange dream, yellow belly. And this guy here is leopard, enchi, orange dream without the yellow belly. And you can see that this guy does not pop in the same way as the colours do on Ironman, which does have yellow belly. You will see the belly is nowhere near as purple, and there are no purples in the dots down the side. There's also no purples in the dorsal as we see in Ironman, because this snake lacks the yellow belly. We're one gene short of the Ironman, hence the name Ironman Light. So this is leopard, enchi, orange dream. And if we look at the head stamp, the head stamp is typical leopard, enchi. Leopard gives the front part of the head stamp, and enchi gives the rear part of the head stamp. And you can see the typical orange dream, orange tint to the inside of that, which would normally be quite dark in colour. So this is Ironman Light. This is what Ironman looks like without the yellow belly. The colours do not pop anywhere near as much as the colours in Ironman. So again, we're seeing that yellow belly is actually quite an important ingredient in our orange dream combos. Yellow belly makes orange dream pop way more than it does when there is no yellow belly in the combo. So Ironman Light, leopard, enchi, orange dream without the yellow belly.
So now we'll show the father of this clutch. Okay, so this is the dad. We showed him just last week. So this is a OD, yellow belly, enchi, leopard, 100% head for clown. This was a high quality example that we imported from Aussie. So he's the one that made mostly nice ODs. Just missed one or two here and there, but not all still. The other dad, the other male that we used, was not labeled as high intensity, was not labeled as a very high quality, but it was still a very nice male. And he made some very high intensity ODs, but not many. So that was the difference.
Oh, look at the belly on that.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to our channel. Make sure you go to the Arawin channel and subscribe there too. See you again next week. So confident next week.